This is the perfect RIA, in case you didn't know. Bringing you all the strategies to help your business grow. Are you happy? Are you satisfied? Are you hanging on the edge of your seat? Sit back and listen in while you feel the beat, yeah! Another myth bites the dust.
Hello, TBR Nation. This is Amber Kim from The Perfect REA. Thank you for joining me on today's Follow-Up Friday, where I'll be covering the highlights and action items from this week's episodes. On Monday, Matt and Micah talked about how sales cures all ills. But it's not just about making money. They said it's about whether you're being hyper-intentional about your time, or are you being self-destructive in your practice, where you're not doing anything that benefits your clients, your team, or your family. Sales helps you be productive and get things done. And it's about giving value to clients and helping more people and growing. And at the core, it's about embracing the possibility of rejection. Sales involves taking risk and being willing to hear a no. Without risking rejection, it's not truly sales or effective prospecting. Micah shared that he still struggles with negative thoughts when organizing prospecting events, worrying if anyone will even show up. But he knows the value these events will bring, so he's willing to risk that no. Matt emphasized that discomfort plays a major role in this process. That fear of rejection is uncomfortable, and it causes people to divert their attention to tasks that don't actually drive results, instead of focusing on prospecting. He said if you never hear no, you won't progress in the business. Micah said it's important to do those difficult tasks first. Those are the ones that actually make a difference, and that how you spend your time and your money doesn't matter as much as the results you get. Mistakes happen, but you should focus on delivering a lot of value and not letting your emotions bring you down. Matt suggested setting limits on your activities. For example, you can aim to hear 10 no's or reach out to 10 centers of influence each week. Having a plan for your week is also important. You should know what you need to do and work with your team to make that happen. Prioritizing the hard tasks first is essential, despite them not always being enjoyable, because those positive results will actually make it worthwhile. To make prospecting less scary, Matt shared a tip from Joe Polish. Instead of thinking about yourself, think about how you can help others. That makes things easier and a lot more effective. Micah likes to make things into a game that he can win. So in prospect meetings, his goal is to deliver massive value rather than simply getting hired. But he said those words don't mean anything to a client. But he'll explain what he's focusing on, and he's setting the rules and parameters and communicating those expectations. Then, when he's delivering value, he's setting himself up to win. The guys also talked about taking chances and not waiting for others to say yes. So if you want something, you have to ask for it and take the risk. The guys asked you to think about, what is your written prospect process for delivering value? How is your relationship manager handling appointments? How are they handling the calls? How are they setting those appointments, and what happens after that? Micah said he gets so much information before a prospect comes in because he wants to stack the deck with as much value as possible. They said you also need to look at what your call to action is and where are you risking that yes or no. And also making sure that a prospect fits your rules for bringing a client on. For the guys, it's meeting the 3 Ps. Are they personable, productive, and profitable? Having a written prospect process that you believe in is vital. If you come across a successful process, but you don't see good results, keep refining and adjusting your approach. Until you've mastered it though, be cautious about editing someone else's process because each step likely has a purpose. Instead of reinventing the wheel, it's better to follow a proven process. It might be uncomfortable, but someone else has already figured that out. Matt said that a good plan might seem boring, but it's better to have a plan that works instead of wasting energy on things that might not work. Let's get into action items. Keep a Post-it note on your desk and put a tally mark each time you take a chance at hearing a yes. You need a written prospect process. Give this to someone on your team. Have them review it. Also, look to see how consistent you are with this and learn from the experts. Summer is a great time to brush up on your learning. We have our estate planning course, and be sure to get signed up for Retirement Tax Services Tax Summit this September. On Wednesday, Matt was joined by Karen Stewart, client success consultant from Belay. She's been working with Matt for more than 6 months once he decided to bring on a new virtual assistant. Now, to find the right fit, Karen emphasized the importance of not only finding a VA who matches well, but at Belay, they're also focusing on other aspects within an organization and how to match well with a client. So Karen and Matt's match was intentional. In the process of finding the right VA, Karen mentioned the significance of getting to know the person on a personal level. Hard skills, soft skills, and personality are all important factors to consider when you're looking for a VA. Karen looks for expertise and specific skills that Matt needs, as well as a compatible personality. She said sometimes people think a VA is just someone to get work done, but Karen says it's important to be excited to work with them. The goal is to create a match where both sides are excited about working together. And if things aren't going well, Karen can step in and make a transition to ensure a more positive working relationship. Now, when it comes to successful relationships with VAs, Karen noted that clients who consistently communicate with their VAs, especially in the beginning, tend to have better outcomes. They need to talk about expectations and give feedback. Mistakes can happen, so it's important to give them a chance to fix things. Matt added that you want to make sure that you're communicating your preferences too, and Belay actually provides a guidebook to facilitate this. It'll include things like how you want your meetings run and about emails. The VA can learn a lot from that. To have success, Karen said it's important to trust your VA and treat them like they're part of your team rather than just a contractor. They should be included in your meetings and trusted with your emails. Now, regarding email delegation, Karen said the most successful approach is when the client entrusts the VA to handle it and shares their preferences and their expectations. She said some clients even allow their VA to respond on their behalf or provide a draft response so that they can review. Karen said that building trust in email handling takes time before you'll likely feel fully confident in your VA to take this over. Now, overall, Karen said that you should find a VA who's an expert and passionate about helping others. You want someone who has your back and who feels a part of your team. Let's get into action items. Make a list of all the things that you're doing and that you shouldn't be doing, as well as the things that you wish you could do but you don't have the time. Find someone who's an expert in those things and who has a passion for serving. And take the time to onboard that person and build that trust by communicating and providing feedback. Once you've done that, you need to let it all go. Go and focus on the things that you do best. Lastly, text RIA to 55123 to get access to Rise Up and Lead by Belay CEO. On Thursday, Jamie asked if you've ever met someone and felt like you messed up after having a conversation with them. I know this is not just me. How many times have you wished that you could pause, choose your words differently, and you replay that conversation over and over again in your mind? The reason behind those situations is often a lack of practice in introducing yourself and explaining what you do. So simply stating that you're a financial advisor, it doesn't provide any meaningful information, and it fails to differentiate you from others in your field. Jamie said the people that are crushing it know that they have to practice this because they know that perfect practice makes perfect. She said what makes you successful is understanding your target audience and knowing how you can solve their problems. Jamie recommends reviewing her episode from last week where she walked through how to identify who your target audience is. Jamie shared an example of what Micah says when someone asks what he does, which is, I'm a financial advisor who helps federal employees understand their benefits. Jamie will say, I bully small business owners into not overpaying in taxes and dying broke. Statements like these resonate with the people they want to work with. So if you're a business owner, Jamie's statement would likely resonate with you. In her elevator pitch, she describes herself as a bully and aggressive. And by doing this, she's allowing those who don't resonate with her approach to filter themselves out. And creating conversation points that help the person that you're talking to self-filter is crucial. When Jamie explains who she serves and why, the person can evaluate whether those points apply to them. And if not, they may think of someone else who could benefit from Jamie's services. Once you've identified your target audience and you can articulate that to others, you then can develop a unique proposition. Think about what it is that you do that's different from other people. Jamie went through an exercise of taking a sheet of paper, on the left-hand side writing down what corresponds to one of many, such as being a financial advisor. And then on the right side, describe what makes you one of a kind. That exercise helps you clarify your unique selling proposition and what sets you apart. Once you have this outline, you need to figure out how to put those words into something that's clear, concise, and conversational, something that makes people ask additional questions. You have to create a little bit of curiosity where you can have a more meaningful conversation. You also need to involve your team in the process, especially when onboarding new members, because it enables clear communication about your services and establish boundaries. When you're creating that message, you want to convey the benefits of your service and not just the features. Jamie said most financial advisors struggle to understand what they truly offer and the benefits of hiring them. It's not enough to just be honest and trustworthy. You need to articulate your message to others and equip your team with the tools to have similar conversations. Determine what you have to offer and what makes you special. Lastly, guide the conversation toward the next action the person should take. And avoid giving out your cell phone number or discussing how you can help that person in a social setting. Instead, you want to direct them to your process and avoid giving away too much for free. You want to leave them curious and wanting more. Let's get into action items. Work on your compelling statement about what you do for a living. Identify your target audience, define your unique selling proposition, and do that one-of-a-kind versus one-of-many exercise. What is your clear and concise message? And make sure that you're focusing on the benefits, not the features. And have a couple of stories ready to share, but those need to be practiced and rehearsed. Lastly, don't miss out on our events this September. Be sure to get your tickets to the Retirement Tax Services Tax Summit. And Invictus members, be sure to get signed up for our Invictus Mastermind. Visit theperfectria.com and we can help get you set up. That wraps up this week's recap. Thank you for joining me on today's Follow-Up Friday. Be sure to share this or any of our episodes with another advisor or team member who you think might benefit from listening. And until next time, happy planning.
Hold on before we go. Something that you need to know. This isn't tax, legal, or investment advice. That isn't our intent. Information designed to change lives. Financial planning can make you thrive. Start today, don't think twice. Be a better husband, father, mother, and wife.